Hello and welcome to the B60 Top 4 show. Uh, got another show this week. A new member of the group's joining for the first time, Raul. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yo, I'm Raul in it. I'm here. I support Sporting Club of Portugal and Spurs as well. And so yeah, let's have a good chat.
So I'll go to you, Manny. I'll start off with Chelsea. A good win for you against West Ham. Um, Caught the game myself and you're under a bit of pressure at the end, but you held on for the result. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, awful watch. Awful watch. I don't know what's happened to us. Um, feel like there's nothing's improving over the past few games. Obviously, we started quite hot at the middle part of the season. People putting us in a title race. Not us talking about rival fans, but um, yeah, I don't know what's happened. The past few games we've just dropped off. Talking about that West Ham game, awful, very boring. Um, no real excitement in the game. Everyone's kind of just flat. Kind of took a goal for us conceding a goal for us to kind of wake up a bit, and even then, we're still a bit flat. Took a lucky goal from Pedro Neto to kind of get us back in the game. A shot, it's kind of deflected out to him, and he put it in the back of the net. And then Cole Palmer's goal, quite a bit of luck off Wan-Bissaka, but yeah, I'm not too sure if we want to get top four, we've got to improve because right now, I mean, you're talking about a West Ham side that's been quite poor in recent time, and for large parts of the game they were quite comfortable. So yeah, I think big improvements in the next couple of weeks are. It's not going to be looking good.
Yeah, I think towards the end of the game, I think they kind of had you on the ropes looking for that equaliser. I know Kudos had that chance. It's a good block from Adarabioyo, and I think kind of galvanised them a bit having Bowen back as well. But yeah, I think you probably need to uh, improve on your performances if you're more serious about getting into Europe. But I'll move on to Spurs. Um, Nick, I know it was a big 2-0 win against Brentford. Surprising result. What was your take on the game?
It was a good game, to be fair. Overall, it was a decent performance. I mean, taking the lead for the first time in a long time, it feels like um, not really being on the back foot as much. Chelsea was in the back foot throughout different stages of the game, but I don't know, you actually felt like we were fighting for something. You know what I mean? We were like, instead of just chasing a game where normally we'll be behind, or when we concede one goal, we concede another one straight away. So again, we'll be behind despite even scoring first. So whereas this time around, it just felt a bit more secured. Brentford really, especially them being at home, they were quite poor. They didn't really put us to the test like that, especially a makeshift back four. And you got Dragic who went out very early. Now he looks like he's done his ACL and now he's probably gone for the season. But even with that, like he was just still not. Yeah, he just still wasn't. There wasn't really too tested at the back. But yeah, it was a good win. It's good to get back in the W column. The Premier League's basically it's a miss now because of that bad run that we had for the last few months. The Premier League's basically washed. I was starting to obviously get a bit concerned regarding that relegation and stuff, like jokingly, but yeah, all of that was never really be too. Was never too mad. Like we'll be fine. We won't go down, but yeah. So we'll be good. Mid-table finish and focus on the cup competitions is probably the focus now. To be fair.
Yeah, I think your January business might be quite crucial. I know you got Danso in. Your back line's like severely depleted at the minute, but I think Ange's come under a bit of unfair criticism. I know the results haven't been great for you, and you haven't been great in the league, but if you look at how many players you have injured, majority of your starting 11's out. You've got, a handful of, fit first team players and, you having to throw the kids in. So I think he's doing as much as he can with what he's got at the minute. I know
Yeah,
you've got Telling as well, which is probably quite cute because I know quite a few Prem clubs are after him. He's timely.
Like, like, like I said on and last week, and it's hard to blame him, like you said, with all these injuries. But also, you got to look in the mirror as well, and you can't the way that he plays, the amount of sprinting, the amount of quick twitch actions that he asks from like his players. You are going to get muscle injuries, especially when you got players like Van der Ven, Romero. These are defenders who are like you play at the front foot all the time. You're not going into a low block. You're not playing more of a mental game, are you? Especially as defenders in that system. It's very much physical. You have to do a lot of quick sprints, a lot of quick actions. So you are more liable to do muscle injuries. Obviously, thinking about it, if you do that in the game, but you also have to train that way all week, so you're ready for the game. So yeah, you're more likely obviously to get injured, especially when you play that type of football. But yeah, overall, I mean, like I say, Ange, I'm not Ange out. I like watching us play. I like his football, and I do believe in it. At the minute, the season is not completely done. The Prem's probably done, but still in all competitions, like yeah, there's a long way to go, man. You can still make this season a success despite all of these injuries. Van der Ven's back now. Yeah, Jagison's gone, but no offense to him, like he's a backup guy anyway. So when Romero and Van der Ven and the real first team has come back, he would have been on the bench anyway. So yeah, let these new like the proper first 11 players start coming back, and then we'll evaluate our season moving forward.
Yeah, just on Ange, you think you've obviously got a big semi-final in the Carabao Cup coming up on Thursday at Anfield against Liverpool. Do you think he may need to tweak his tactics slightly? Or do you reckon he'll continue to play Ange ball as he does?
Yeah,
No, you've only got
yeah,
one. Right.
we'll see. We'll see. We've seen it now many times, and there's no. You're just wasting your breath, wasting your time thinking about him playing alternatively. He's not going to do it. He's
No, he won't.
every single game that he's gone into, he's he's played his football. So, Anfield is tough. People have lost their play in all sorts of ways, and you can play attacking, defensive. You're still going to hold like people still have batterings there, So there's something I can respect about going there, still playing your own way, and staying true to your own principles and your own way of playing, and it. So yeah, don't change the tactics. Just go out there. Hopefully, the players turn up on a day.
Yeah. Just on that role, what's your prediction for the Carabao Cup game against Liverpool?
It'll be a tough game though, isn't it? Like he says, it's a semi-final against Liverpool. Like you don't matter how you play, like Liverpool been very good this season, so we'll have to take that game as it comes. As long as we cover the bases, and depends what team Liverpool have as well, because I reckon they'll rest a few players for the weekend. I reckon because Liverpool might not be that asked about the Carabao Cup as much as Spurs might be.
That's true. Still, that's true. And I've seen that they've got a few injuries and knocks as well going into that game. So, to Raul's point, they'll probably just not necessarily take it easy, but definitely rotate the team more and prioritize the Premier League more than obviously Spurs will.
um,
In terms of Spurs, it's just one of those, isn't it? Like you gotta have that backbone of believing in the team that will turn it around at some point. But like Nick said, like there's been plenty of injuries this season. Like not really have a very 11 side that you've been playing consistently either. Even though I think some of the signings that Spurs have made that really make no sense. There's better players out there. It's just following the hype. But that's meaning like the recruitment's not been the best. Because recruiting players, that's not going to get you championships, unfortunately. They won't. But that's my opinion on the take in terms of team wise.
yeah, because I think Tell was an interesting one because I think a lot of the top clubs are after him, but I think it's more as somebody who's got potential rather than
Potential.
who's going to deliver now. I mean, he scored 4 goals in the last 16 months for Bayern, so I know Harry Kane's played a lot and he's not had much game time, but they're having to utilize him a lot in the wide areas as well. And I think he's more of a central striker, but maybe it's just a case that he needs to run of games. But he's a young kid, 19. It'll be interesting to see how he plays. But he is quite highly rated. He seems like a very talented player. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. But I'll move on to a big result on the weekend. Fully enough, I actually turned down tickets to this game and I kind of regret it now. But yeah, Arsenal with a big 5-1 win against City. I think it kind of backfired on Haaland. I mean, I know he's got his own version of Prime, but I think KSI needs to send in this Arsenal one, mate. It's just humble that guy because at the end of the day, I
You
think,
lot are so funny, yeah. Look how gassed you are, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That,
it's Arsenal top.
but
Got
yeah,
prime
stay
Arsenal.
humble, man. This is
That is
what you need,
crazy.
bro. You man need to stay humble, man. You lot are
yeah.
so gassed. You know,
no,
right?
but no, but no, but the
Let me
funny
get.
thing is though, it's like
That's a big win.
Haaland started this, right? He was the one who went up to Arteta saying stay humble, started going up to Miles Lewis Skelly, like, who the fuck are you, all this, like at the end of the day, he provoked the players and they gave him a reaction. I mean, like an 18-year-old kid, Lewis Skelly, I think Haaland knows who he is now after he mocked his celebration. So
Haaland don't know who that kid is, bro.
yeah,
Haaland don't
he
know
does now, bro. I can't lie.
who he is.
But
Wait,
yeah, I think
Ryan, though, do you get what he means though when it says that stay humble? Like
no,
the
no, no.
fact that
I
you lot
completely
are
understand it. Like, look,
mocking
like,
it, you've won nothing,
yeah, yeah, you
you've
haven't
won
won.
everything, and one result, you man are acting like you've
Yeah.
won the
Yeah,
World
but
Cup,
I
Champions
mean,
League, everything in
he
one
can
night.
say stay humble and all that, but it's pretty arrogant of the guy to go up to an opposition manager and tell him how to behave when he's kicking off at players himself. Like, I get what you're saying. Look, Arsenal haven't won anything. Look, compared to City, they've won what 17 trophies under Guardiola. We're nowhere near that tally. But I think I've kind of missed this bit of bitterness in football. I think it's all a bit too lovey-dovey, too nice, too much respect for each other. Like I like that rivalry, a bit of bite. You used to have it with the old Arsenal United games. It was a bit feisty. I think there's not enough of that in football nowadays. So yeah, I'm all for it. At the end of the day, if Haaland can chuck a ball at Gabriel's head in the game as well. And, Gabriel's going to react at the end of the day. I think, you can't really say much now, can you? Now they've lost. But I think at the end of the day, I think it was a good result for us. Um, I know City have spent 180 million in January, but if I were them, I'd be pretty worried. I mean, I looked at their performance. 3 of the goals we scored were just from them making errors passing out the back. Um, I think Arteta tactically was pretty smart. He kind of operated with like a double press. So I think Erdegaard and Havertz were going first. And they were forcing the ball out wide to Gavardio. And if you look at Gavardio half time, he was pointing the other way. He didn't want it. And then Rice, Partey, Martinelli, they were almost like a second press once the ball moved into midfield. So I think we forced errors, which was smart tactically, but I don't know. I'm a bit confused as the massive drop. I know Rodri's got injured, but for the most part, they've got most of their players fit and available. So I'm surprised at how badly City have dropped off because I know Havertz missed that chance at 1-0. And then when Haaland equalised, the game's kind of in the balance at that point. It could have gone either way, but I think we obviously equalised like a minute later and then they just completely fell apart. And
Uh, I'll give you the flowers, man. Obviously, it's a sick result. You've got every reason to celebrate and almost get your lick back. Yeah, also yeah, they were moving a bit mad, and also you guys have been racing for the title the last few years, so yeah, it definitely feels sweet. I can see it in your face, bro. I can see, I can see that you're happy about that one, but which is you've got every right to be. In terms of City, they weren't going to win forever. You know what I mean? So eventually they were going to have to come off. Players are getting old, key players are missing, like you said, Rodri. Look at their centre midfield. They're playing Kovacic and Bernardo Silva. These players came to England as attacking midfielders, and now they're trying to play a holding mid at one of the toughest places to go in the country. It's different levels. So, but yeah, there's not much more to
I
say,
think
man. Good result for you for sure.
yeah, I think they've looked to try and address it. I know they signed Nico Gonzalez from Porto. Yeah, former player that came through the Barca academy. So maybe he can address some of the problems while Rodri's out. But I think I want to shout out to Hairlem products as well and like Nwaneri and Lewis Skelly. I think Lewis Skelly, since he's come in, I know he's 18, but he's not put a foot wrong so far. He's been immaculate. Obviously scored the goal as well. Showed a lot of like cojones, as Troy Deeney would like to say, with mocking Haaland celebration as well. And then one year, even in midweek, he did the same thing outside the box, cutting his left foot, put it in the bottom corner. So yeah, for a 17-year-old kid, he looks like quite the talent. Again, he's just positive, proactive, plays with courage, always looks to make something happen. There's no like sideways passing with him. It's always like a positive movement. So I'm looking forward to seeing those two players develop. But I'll move on to the hot or not for this week. I'll start it off, and he did get his goal. He did finish, but for the most part, we had pretty good performances. But I'm gonna have to give my nod again to Kai Havertz. I think there's that chance he had where he's got half the goal gaping. Again, it's another chance where you've got to put that away as a striker. It's just he's dragged his shot wide. He did score a really good goal. It was such a tough finish as well, the second one, but he did press really well. It's just more of a case that I think there was quite a few good performances, and I didn't want to. He's the only one I can really think of just for that chance, because for the most part, I think everyone played really well. But my hot, I'm going to give it to Mars Lewis Skelly. Declan Rice played really well as well, but just felt that for an 18-year-old kid to come into a game like that and play the way he did, get the goal as well. I think he just deserves it. But yeah, I'll move on to you, Manny, for hot or not for the Chelsea West Ham game.
To be fair, I don't think there's. I think the performance in general from Chelsea was just poor, but could probably pick anyone, but I'll probably give it to Colwell just because he gave away the goal. Just a poor back pass to the keeper, and yeah, it just led to the Bowen goal. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to give the nod to him. We need to cut out these mistakes at the back. Hot, probably give it to Pedro Neto. Kind of come on, kind of looked like the bright spark. Scored the equalising goal. And yeah, that kind of catapulted us to eventually get the win. So yeah, he's probably going to be my hope this week for Chelsea.
Yeah, I'll pass on to you, Raul, hot or not for the Spurs game.
Spence really played really well, but he's a quality player. But it's just a shame that it took so many injuries for actually managers for the managers to see the talent that he has. I wouldn't put anyone in not, because the whole team played well. So it will be a very, very tough to put someone that no, because they all played well, really, to be fair. Very good game away.
And Nick, I'll pass on to you as well for your hot or not.
Yeah, I agree with Wolves. Spence definitely man of the match. Guy covered every blade of grass. It was top draw, and he's playing left back as well. It's never like his natural position on the right. So yeah, for sure. There's no point just echoing what Reward just said. It's defo him in terms of not like Reward said. I mean, most of the team played well. Pretty much everyone. It pays me to put this guy there, but he's probably my favorite player in football right now, Kulusevski. But all they put him there, it's not like he played. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he played poor. There's definitely been like worse performances from him in the past, but this season has stepped it up to another level. So my expectations for him, like week in week out, are much higher than what he showed in the weekend. But that's it. Just because he puts in like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, that doesn't mean he's played bad. It just means that I'm expecting 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 every week. And when you don't get that, you're kind of just left meh. But yeah, that's if I had to choose someone. It's not really a true reflection of how he played.
And I'm going to move on to the overall Premier League Player of the Week. And I watched Forest against Brighton, where they dismantled them 7-0. And I've got to say, Ante Elanga was brilliant. I think he's starting to show a bit of his potential and deliver on some performances. I mean, he got a hat-trick of assists. He's brilliant down the right for them, absolutely tormented Brighton defence. So I'm going to give it to him. I know Brighton weren't at the races really, but he had a brilliant performance. And Manny, I'll pass on to you. Player of the Week, Prem Player of the Week.
If I'm going to get a Player of the Week, I'll probably say probably give it to Alonga as well. I don't know. I don't really. I know I'm going to be cocky on this, but I feel like I, I feel like the reason why I want to give it to Alanga is just kind of echoing what you said, just because of the simple fact that not necessarily because of what you said. It's more the reason of like he came from a United team as a kind of a United reject. They probably didn't feel like they needed him anymore. And you kind of look at United's attack now. Um, you know, the lack of goals they're scoring, and you kind of look at the way his career's gone. He's kind of revitalised his career, and if you're looking at most of like maybe not the top four clubs, but probably the top half of the table, he's probably getting most of their teams out of the form he's in. So yeah, I probably have to say him as well. I think he's really kind of his career kind of really took off, especially since the start of the season. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to give it to him.
And Raul, your Prem Player of the Week.
It's a bit tough in it because a lot of players played good this week, but probably have to give it a Langer for what he's been through. Not a copy of what everyone said, really, to be fair, but what he's been through so far, he showed that how quality of a player he is. So I'll have to give it to him, really.
And Nick, your Prem Player of the Week.
It's Mo Salah. Yeah, Mo Salah. His GA output is just ridiculous, isn't it? He's always scoring or assisting. Over the last couple of years, it's not even just about this weekend, boss. He was on show, but we've been knowing about his goal scoring ability, but his playmaking ability as well. To couple with his goal scoring is just top draw. I think what did he got on level with Thierry Henry for the amount of goals that he scored in the Premier League this weekend. Obviously talisman as well. Basically won Liverpool the game over the weekend. Um, yeah, is Premier League legend. Probably going to win another Premier League title again. Probably going to win another PFA Player of the Year again. And then now you're going to start having some serious uncomfortable conversations for certain fan bases. Um, when this guy's going to be going, it's going to be going band for band with the likes of Henri and all of these all time greats that lots of living in the moment right now. You won't necessarily think of him, but the stats, if he gets some 2 Premier League titles, 2 Premier League PFA Player of the Years, this is legendary stuff that we're watching right now. So yeah, just trying to put some respect in his name, really, and yeah, it's just more of the same, in it from Mo Salah.
Yeah, I think he just has that thing where he can just flick a switch and suddenly he's got a goal and assist or he's got 2 goals. I mean, there's a lot of times you watch Liverpool and he's relatively quiet, but all of a sudden when they need a goal, he just switches into gear and it's just
It's an X
ridiculous.
factor, isn't it? Ronaldo was like that. Cristiano
Yeah,
Ronaldo was very much like that towards the end of his time at Real Madrid.
he's incredible as well. He just has that hunger. He just looks like someone who just wants to score goals all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go on to something a bit different. Obviously, the transfer window closed on Monday night, so I just wanted to do a little review of the January window for respective clubs. I'll start with Arsenal, and again, I think we're really short in the forward line. I think they were saying they were targeting a striker all window, and fortunately, haven't been able to get anyone in. I know David Ornstein put a report out saying that I think we bid 40 million for Watkins, and it was actually 60. Villa would have done business out, but we chose not to go back in for that price. I think we were in discussions with Tell as well, but I think we abandoned that pursuit as well. So yeah, I think we're running the risk, and hopefully it pays off. But I think having Havertz as your only striker until the end of the season, I mean, if he's going to have to play a game every 3 days, it's probably likely that he's going to get injured at some point. So it's a big
Not got
risk.
anyone in the B team.
No, not really. I don't think there's anyone ready to really jump up to the first team at the minute. I know
He's only going to be ready if they put him in that position. To be fair,
there's a few wingers. I know there's like Ismail Kabia, that's come on in like the league. He's been on the bench. But
United
again,
bought a few of your players, isn't it?
hmm?
United bought a few of your youngsters, haven't they?
Yeah, they
United.
bought Aiden Heaven.
Is
He's
he
played
good?
he played in the League Cup. He looked decent in pre-season. Like right footed centre back. Yeah, he seems like an okay talent. I think Lewis Skelly and probably Nwaneri are obviously the ones that made the biggest impact on the first team this season. But I think from his perspective, if you've got Saliba there at right centre back, he's only 23 as well. It's probably going to be pretty difficult to force your way into the starting 11, even in the future. So I think it kind of makes sense for him to move. But yeah, Chido Obi Martin went to United as well. But yeah, I'll pass it on to Raul. What do you think of the Spurs window? I know you brought in Danso and Tell.
Yeah, we bought the goalkeeper as well, didn't we? I forgot his name. That keeper from Prague.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even understand why he bought him. To be fair, because he had that reserve keeper, which I think he done quite well since he came on. I don't think he's put any foot wrong. That Augustine, he wasn't in reserve. I think Nick, you probably know. He played a few times. He plays for the Europa League.
What the milkshakes guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's been
think it
doing
was.
all right, to be
Yeah.
fair.
It was all right. I like this new keeper though. So I like his passing, his distribution is okay. So obviously Vicaria's still number one, but that new keeper Kinski's he's okay.
And then Tell, like attacking wise, I don't think Tottenham need any more attackers though, because you got quite a few, but it just comes down to the injuries as well. They might have, because to be fair, you got Timo Werner there and there's a -1 on the pitch. So they probably needed to get another winger. Um, but I think also bought a centre mid as well. So trying to think if there was a need for a centre mid as well, but I don't think it was. So in terms of transfer window, they tried to tackle as best as they could, really, to be fair. But I'm not sure. It just feels like there's something missing in the team. Maybe someone number 10 he can create something out of nothing. I rate Madison, but not that much, unfortunately. Yeah. Madison's all right player, but I think there's something missing from him as well to get Tottenham to that next stage. But that's my opinion, of course.
Yeah, so I think Madison had a really good start when he came in at Spurs, but I think this season he's not quite hit the heights. I think he's a good player. Yeah, he's just not had quite a consistent season.
And I'm surprised that Tottenham still signed him after these tweets came to light, talking shit about Tottenham. I'll never accept that on my team.
Yeah,
That's quite disrespectful.
what do you think of the Spurs window?
Cool. It's been all right. I mean, obviously you got to look at when you buy a defender, another defender gets injured. But overall, I'm happy. I like the backup keeper. I like Tell on the left. He's probably a long-term replacement for Son. For Bayern, he played on the left a few times as well as up front. But yeah, in a number 10, we've got Kulusevski and Madison, who are okay there. Out wide, we've got obviously Brennan Johnson and also Mikey Moore, and obviously a Son as well. So we need one more player out there really to be proper serious in terms of depth wise. But yeah, it was okay. It's January though, and you can't expect too much.
Yeah, and Emmanuel, I'll come on to you. What do you think of the Chelsea window?
Yeah, not not too much business, but not too much business needed to be done just because of how much business we've been doing. I know we recalled Chalobah. That's probably the only kind of name that kind of like shouts out to you of a player that's came back. There's been a few outgoings. I know João Felix. It's just the main topic of conversation. Casady as well, another first team player. But yeah, not really too much to say in terms of incomings. Yeah, I think for the summer maybe we need maybe a goalkeeper and a centre back though, to kind of fix the problems that we have. But yeah, like Nick said, it's always hard to do business in January. So if you don't get what you want, you can't really complain too much. But yeah, I suppose we've got to just carry on with what we've got for now.
Yeah, because I know Disassi went on loan to Villa as well. So I think you'll definitely need a centre back in the summer.
He's a horrible player, horrible centre back. I'm glad he's gone. Maybe Villa might be his level, to be fair. I don't know. Obviously, like Chelsea, a winning club, you expect kind of, to be pushing to the next level. Villa, they'd probably be happy with the top four kind of thing, or European spots. But Chelsea, I think, is a level above that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I heard as well they were looking at a right centre back that can also play right back as well. But I honestly couldn't imagine Disasi playing right back at all. So yeah, I think it was more of a case they lost Diego Carlos, so I think they were just looking to bring someone in to make up the numbers. But yeah, I think definitely an experienced centre back in the summer and the goalkeeper would do you good. But yeah, that concludes the show for this week. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Cool, peace, peeps.
Safe, yo.
No